act fast. If you've got an idea, don't sit and wait for all the circumstances to be perfect. They're never going to be. You've got to take that idea. You've got to run with it, because in your failure is your success.
Welcome to Grit Factor podcast, where we share stories of women and the incredible work they are doing across South Africa. And on today's show, we have a conversation not just about beauty, but about how brands are making a difference in the lives of so many women. My guest today is Tammy Menton. She is the head of business and brand for Easihair Pro. Welcome to the show, Tammy.
Thank you, Erin. I'm delighted to be here.
It is so good to have you on the show, and I'm just looking forward to just hearing your story and obviously you sharing your experience and wisdom
Thank you.
With our viewers. So I think we'll get right into it. Where did your journey start as you kind of ventured through business or life in general, and what brought you to this point where you are today?
It's an interesting story, actually. It's a little bit accidental. I have been in the property industry for most of my life, specifically in marketing. And I was very fortunate to work as the head of marketing and sales for a very big property development called Stain City for many years. And I mean, as most of us already know, the idea of percentage of women who actually sit on boards and in managerial positions in companies around South Africa is exceptionally low. So at my time while I was at Stain City, I started a movement called the 7% Tribe. And what that looked at was the number of women who were actively involved in making decisions for big corporates around the country, and how other women in business could empower younger girls looking to exceed. So we started this fantastic concept. The 7% came from the fact that only 7% of women sit on boards at the time. This was in 2018. I think the numbers have thankfully shifted since then. And we just discovered that the more women pop each other up, the more we cheer each other on, the better chance we have another seat at the table. And I think what often happens with women in business is that they fear other women, or they see other women as a threat rather than an ally. You know, there's a limited space at the table. And so we're all clambering up that ladder, trying to break that glass ceiling. So the only solution is make more space at the table. You know, women have a unique ability in business. We have something men typically don't have as much of, and that's empathy. And that empathy gives us an incredible perspective when it comes to business and doing business. So my love and passion for women in business started many years ago, but I was given a lovely portal through Stain City to be able to see that come to fruition and come to life. So fast forward a few years, I left the property industry, a decision that I'd made largely because I'm a mom of 3 sons. And I was in a position where I needed to raise my boys pretty much on my own, and no discredit to their father. He was an incredible father. It was just situational. And the boys, I realized that, you know, I can only do so much for my work, which will empower me, but I'm also have to consider that I'm a mom. I'm trying to stay healthy. I'm trying to look after myself. My mental health is important. And so, you know, people talk about this work-life balance. And does it actually even exist?
Exactly.
And I'd lost that with the corporate job that I was in. I'd really lost that ability. I wasn't, my au pairs were raising my children. I wasn't seeing enough of them. So I took a step back from the property, and I got offered this incredible opportunity with Easihair Pro, and it just ticked all my boxes. It was just the most incredible opportunity to do something out of my wheelhouse.
Kind of
rewrite my scripts a little. And I think that by doing that, I was able to still bring in my love and passion for women in business, but find a more nurturing way of doing it. And so, yeah, that's kind of where I am today.
Yes, that's beautiful. I absolutely love your story. I love the 7%. I think I've experienced with my journey with Mrs. South Africa, I experienced that real sisterhood and the power of the sisterhood and what it does for women. One, for your confidence. It just gives you that boost, you know, that like someone else sees you, that's sort of your peer, that's sort of kind of in the same sort of, you know, has the same drive or vision or passion. And that person is there to support you, and they see the gift on the inside of you and sort of recognize that. And so knowing that someone like that is in your corner, it makes a huge difference to your confidence level. So I really love that concept. And like I say, I've experienced it with the sisterhood. You know, we've connected on levels where some of us are doing business together now, collaborating on new ideas, you know, just working together and making friends with women, which I mean, I would not have thought at my age would be something that I would have done.
Yeah.
But it's been really something that has made a huge difference in my life. So I really love that. And I was actually thinking about, you know, yourself and Easihair Pro and what you do, because I know that the brand is so much more than just extensions. It is obviously, I mean, extensions is what you do. That's the products often, but there's so much more to it than that. So I want you just to touch a little bit about, you know, just the purpose and what the brand is all about.
Okay, with pleasure. So Easihair Pro is an American brand. It started in the USA by a South African family.
Okay.
So we've got our roots here in SA, which I love, which is what I love about the story. And it was a father, John Reynolds, is the dad, and his son, Paul Reynolds and Garen Reynolds are the sons, who really just exploded the brand Easihair Pro into the American market. The youngest of the sons, Garen, moved back to South Africa, and he wanted to bring this incredible American product through to the African market. And it's often tricky to do something like that. You know, with American products, often because of the exchange rates, we're outpriced and overpriced, and it's difficult to bring that quality of product. But what I really fell in love with about the brand was the idea that we're empowering stylists. And the majority of stylists across the globe are women. And the majority of them are often single moms. So the idea of a hairdresser who can deliver a service in the salon, which can actually lead to complete financial freedom, is really what kind of caught my attention about this brand. Because as you said, it's not just about hair extensions. There's all the confidence that comes with it. It's giving women that their sense of power back, which is so amazing. But the stylist who's doing that extension, who's doing that service, has an opportunity, if they follow the business protocols, if they, it's a rinse and repeat for us, pardon the pun, of how to run the business, how to run a hair extension service. They will be able to either have less days behind the chair, so they'll be able to cut down on their hours, which gives them more freedom to spend with their family, or they'll be able to radically increase their earning potential. So that's really what caught my eye. So when we train with extensions, when we train stylists, we spend a large part of the time teaching them how to do the application, which is incredibly important. But a big part of our training is the business of hair extensions. We give them the confidence. We teach them how to talk it. We teach them how to sell it. We explain to them the benefits that will improve their lives as well as the lives of the person sitting in their chair. So the Easihair Pro motto is measurably changing lives. And it's got so many angles to that. And that's really, I think, what attracted me so much to the business, just with my love and my passion for seeing women succeed. But, you know, this industry has so much potential. And I think given the right tools and the right training and the right education, you can really change someone's life.
You know, the purpose of the brand is so much deeper than meets the eye, and it's actually making a difference. And I think business, when you're in business and the end result is that someone's life has changed or transformed or upgraded, then it's also that much more fulfilling than if it was just about, you know, the product, or the money, or that kind of thing. And so I really, really resonate with that. I wanted to maybe just ask you, is there maybe a story that stands out for you? Perhaps from one of the ladies that you've trained, or just anyone within your industry or your space that has really left a mark on you.
Oh, I've actually got a few to think of. But one in particular is a stylist who works in Tableview in Cape Town. So our head office is based in Cape Town. I travel once a month for a week to Cape Town, but I'm based here in Johannesburg. And this particular stylist decided to open her own salon, her own business, and really make extensions and coloring extensions her life's work and her passion. And she has gone on to be independently one of our biggest clients in the South African market. On her own. She has taken her business to absolutely new heights. She talks about having so much more freedom. She talks about being her hours are her own. She decides how hard she wants to work or when she needs to take that break when she's feeling a bit of burnout. And so she's really kind of grasped the concept of, what do I do with the skill set that you've given me and the business lessons that we've included, and how do I make that something really powerful and successful? And she's done exactly that. And I honestly have story after story to tell you where they've taken the opportunity that you have to really immerse yourself in the concept of selling extensions. Because for a lot of people, it's not comfortable. I think the biggest barrier for a lot of women and men is having the conversation, first of all, and talking about, like, are you interested in hair extensions? But learning that the no isn't personal. And I think for many people in sales, it's the hardest thing to grasp. It's rejection. It's a rejection. Yeah. It's a rejection, and learning that if you say no to me today, it's not because you don't like me or it's something I've said that offended you. I'm not ready for this. And when you shift your thinking away from, okay, well, it's not something that I've done. That's exactly what Casey needed. She got to the point where she was happy to ask. She knew in her heart that the transformation, that the confidence that woman was going to walk out of the salon was worth the no that she might get. Wow. And she really has. She's a beautiful example. And she's also, for me, one of those women that just loves to teach her skill as well. So she's gone out there and she's helped empower other women and train other women.
That's awesome. And so I just wanted to find out from you, like, what are the challenges that you've had to navigate with your family, and you're building this amazing brand? I know it's a lot easier than when you were in property, because now you have a little bit more freedom, you feel fulfilled. But what are the challenges, or maybe a particular challenge that you had to kind of push through and sort of grind your teeth and hold on and navigate, or like, this is really tough, how am I going to get through this? Am I ever going to get through it? What was a challenge that you can remember, was that for you, and how did you navigate that?
So I have 3 sons, as I mentioned. They are a little bit older now. So my eldest son's 25. My middle son just turned 23, and I have a little Lark Lamaki. He's 16, so not little anymore. He's in grade 10. So I think at the time when I was so deeply involved in Stan City and the work around Stan City, which I loved. I had such a passion for it. So it didn't ever really feel like a slog, I really enjoyed it. It was finding a way to give my sons the attention that they needed while still pursuing my career. And there were many times I got it wrong. As a mom, I can sit back now and as my sons, as adults, we can sit and have these conversations about, like, what would I have potentially done differently? My situation is not unique to a lot of women. I needed to earn money. I needed to be able to put food on the table. I needed to be able to put a roof over their head. And that sometimes had to be my priority. So, in retrospect, what would I have maybe done differently? I think I would have tried harder deciding what needs your attention, what needs to take priority now. So that would be the one thing that I wish I had done better with my sons. Listen, I have to say, they would probably disagree with me. They've all turned out to be really, really, really good young men. Amazing. There's a reason I didn't have daughters. God gave me exactly what I could handle. They don't need their mum as much as girls do. So the boys kind of really just figured out how to get on with that thing. They do. They're absolutely, and it's amazing. It's just, what I would do differently probably is spend a little bit, make more decisions that looked after my mental health and my family life, and didn't always prioritize work. And it's a difficult balance, very tricky balance, but it's doable. I totally believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. I also feel like what you mentioned, there's different seasons in your life. And so, like you mentioned, like, what is the thing that needs to take priority right now?
Correct.
And so sort of percentages get split.
Always.
Across the board. But I take my hand off to women, any woman, whether you've got so many roles and so many things that you need to be like. You need to look good. Your hair needs to be good. Your wardrobe, your family life, your marriage. If you are married, you're trying to build a career, trying to manage a home. And you're trying to stay sane. So, it's like, how do we do this? We truly are superwoman. I really do believe it.
We are.
But yeah, I do believe that if you can prioritize, if you know what to prioritize, it makes it a little bit easier to manage, especially if you're building a career. So yeah, I think what we're going to do now is something a little bit more lighthearted. Some rapid fire questions just to get to know you a bit better. Your go-to confidence boost before a big event.
How I present myself, what I look like. It just, if I feel powerful and beautiful, I present as powerful and beautiful.
Awesome. One hair trend you will never stop loving.
Oh, I'm loving this very natural lived-in look at the moment. I'm loving this. And it's something that's really coming back. It's just kind of going back to your roots and being more natural about the hair, and I'm really enjoying it.
Awesome. Love that. Okay. Dream brand collab for Easihair Pro.
Wow, I've got so many. I would love to work with an authentic beauty concept just because their brand is all natural. And I love what they look like and I love what they stand for. But I mean, Schwarzkopf is also incredible, and L'Oreal. Oh, yeah, the list goes on.
Okay. One thing women should stop apologizing for.
For being fully themselves and for being powerful and for being successful. I feel a lot of women apologize far too much for that.
Yeah, agreed. Love that. Okay, so your favorite quote or mantra right now?
So it's probably let them. I'm really enjoying, I'm quite immersed in her podcast. And I do love that. Yeah, what I love a lot about it is everyone talks about let them.
Yeah.
But she also talks about let me. So the let them theory is if someone's doing something that you don't agree with or that annoys you or irritates you, just let them. Try not to take it on personally. But then the flip side of it is let me find a way to move on. Let me find a way to not take it personally. Let me find a way to work through this. So I'm let them.
Okay, I love that. What does beauty mean to you in one sentence?
Your inner confidence, your ability to just exude who you are and be as authentic as possible.
Awesome. And then the last one, what do you wish more people knew about the power of a great hairstyle?
I wish they knew how other people view you. I wish they could see yourself through their eyes.
Yes. Love that. Okay, well, that wasn't too bad.
No, right? Okay, yeah, I can do this.
Okay, well, I think we've sort of come to the end of our conversation, and thank you so much for joining us. But before we go, I would like for you just to share a word of wisdom or a golden nugget for the women that are watching. Maybe they are, trying to reinvent themselves, or they're scared of taking a risk, starting a business, or whatever the case may be. Perhaps just share some sort of wisdom or encouragement.
Okay, so I think that women need to trust themselves more than they do. I think being a woman in business and balancing your life takes a lot of grit. And I feel like if I could give one piece of advice, it's act fast. If you've got an idea, don't sit and wait for all the circumstances to be perfect. They're never going to be. You've got to take that idea. You've got to run with it, because in your failure is your success.
Oh, I love that. It's amazing. So on point. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you so much. And we are obviously looking forward to the next time we can sit down and chat and have a conversation. But thank you for sharing your wisdom. Thank you for sharing your story. You are inspiring women. You are empowering them. And I think that for me is the most powerful thing you can do. I think there was a quote that says you can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you can never count the number of apples in one seed.
Wow.
And it just speaks to the fact that your impact is so much greater than you can even imagine, because your life is changing someone else's. That woman is imparting it to someone else. And there's such a ripple effect, and the impact is huge. And so thank you for making that impact.
I appreciate you having me. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much for joining this episode of Grit Factor. I hope that you were inspired by Tammy's incredible story and the work that she is doing across our nation. I hope that it will point you in the direction of your purpose and your calling, and you'll be able to inspire someone in your world. Now, if you'd like to get in touch with Tammy or Easihair Pro, you can find her on all social media platforms. Thank you again for joining this episode of Grit Factor, and we'll see you next time.